Hi, it's Shelly from FaithX, helping you connect your faith in your business with confidence. Today is just a quick video, 3 questions that you can ask yourself when you're feeling stuck. So I was sitting in church the other day and I heard a part of one of the verses that they were reading, which is from Jeremiah 7:24, and it says something like God was explaining how he's laid out all these things for the Israelites to do, and it says, but they did not listen or pay attention. Instead, they followed their stubborn inclinations of their evil hearts, and they went backwards and not forward. And that phrase, they went backwards and not forward, just really stuck out to me because sometimes that's how I feel. Like the gap between where I am and where I want to be is just getting bigger and bigger. I'm going backwards in my progress. I'm not making any forward changes. Like things are just not working out. And it made me think about, okay, well, what is going on, right? Sometimes I'm just like, what can I do? What's going on? What's going wrong? Everything is not working. And I just try harder. And one of the things that was the theme of that sermon was actually to ask this question, keeping in mind the one big theme of the Bible is that God wants a relationship with us, right? That's repeated over and over in the Old Testament and the New Testament. God wants to reconcile with us. He wants that relationship with us. So whether you're feeling stuck in your business or your personal life, the number one question to ask at that moment is what's inhibiting your relationship with God? What could be helping that relationship with God to go stronger, to bring you closer together, and to focus on that above all else? 2 other things that would be important to think about, and based on this Jeremiah passage, would be what is it that you're supposed to be doing, listening, or paying attention to that you might be ignoring? So in this passage, it said, prior to 24, it says, God was telling them to walk in obedience to all I command you, that it may go well with you. So it wasn't just random things that he's commanding them to do. These are commandments for their benefit, right? And God always wants our best. It might not be the best that we think will be the best, but he has all knowledge and he knows us, like he knows us so well, and he knows what will work out the best. So he's giving us these commands so that we actually can have the best life possible. So what's inhibiting your relationship with God, or what can you do to make it stronger? And then what are you supposed to be doing, listening to, or paying attention that you might be missing? And then third, are you being too stubborn in your own way? And that kind of goes along with the other ones. But like the Israelites, are we following the stubborn inclinations of our evil hearts? Are we just ignoring, like maybe we've had all these things, maybe you have a pretty good idea of what you need to be doing or what God is trying to say in the theme of your life, things that are repeated patterns that you're seeing, and you still say, nope, I think I'm going to do this my way. I'm just going to buckle down and try harder. That usually doesn't work. And if I can help you with a shortcut, that's great. Try to even just experiment, right? Just experiment with what would it be like if you were to do what you feel like is on your heart to do, as God is saying, hey, this is my still and quiet voice saying, maybe you should consider something else. If you were to do that, like what would that look like? Maybe you don't need to be buckling down and doing more. Maybe it's actually pulling back and saying, what are my priorities here? Maybe it's something like you have been having the appearance of being an entrepreneur, but actually haven't been doing any of the work. So maybe you do need to buckle down and do a little bit more of the work and not just be pretending that you are an entrepreneur or pretending that you are being very effective and actually just being busy, but not being efficient or being effective with any of the work that you're doing. So those are the 3 questions. When you're feeling stuck in your business or in your personal life, if you feel like that gap is growing between where you are and where you want to be, ask yourself, what's inhibiting your relationship with God and what will strengthen that? What are you supposed to be doing, listening to, or paying attention to that you might be missing? And 3, are you being too stubborn in your own way? So those are the 3 questions. I will see you next week. Be sure to check out that Sword and Savvy interview series if you haven't already. There are tons of great tips, kind of like this, where they're just, from real situations in these entrepreneurs' lives, talking about how their faith impacts their business and how their business impacts their faith. And I learned so much from doing the interviews, and I know that you will learn a lot from watching them. So be sure to check those out. I'll link it up in the corner or down in the comments, and then I'll see you next week. Bye.